Okay everybody, Bargain Strandrig here again with some more Kingdom Death settlement management for you all. Not quite so much action this time, eh? Right, this is going to be a long and possibly somewhat laborious settlement phase. Well, slightly longer than some of the others, let's say. I have a suspicion that there's going to be like 3 events this settlement phase, you know, so it's going to take a while. Now, some of you may be wondering what happened to the end of the last video. More astute watchers, but probably all of you, to be honest, it's probably not that many, will have observed that I was trying to squeeze in the resource gaining portion and the end of the showdown. But it was only going to be like another couple of minutes. My camera ran out of juice again, and here we are, right? So let's do it all now, right? So they all get a point of hunt experience each, and for at least 2 of them this is going to be very good. So Sven and Ormhild will gain a age roll, and it was during a hunt. So weapon proficiency, I'm going to give Sven axe proficiency because it's working well for him, right? And for Ormhild there, I'll go with the sword, because hopefully we'll get some better swords eventually, right? I do want to get a shield specialist at some point. It'd be really impressive, but it's actually very hard to get because you have to wound things with a shield, and that's actually bloody difficult. It's not wound things while using a shield, it's wound things with a shield. So yes, age rolls. There's some dice here. And you also see I've got some resource cards laid out already as well. So for Sven, we have a... Is that even in shot? Yeah. We have a 4, and for Ormhild, a 10. Okay. Oh wow, so he gains 1 permanent point of strength, and she gains, oh, it's 2 dice together, so 14. He does not gain a permanent point of strength, he gains a fighting arts. Oh, okay. And then she, in that case, will gain 4. A permanent point of strength. Right. Well, that point of strength was going somewhere, wasn't it? Someone was going to get it. Apparently it was her. You know what, she's doing well. So she's probably going to die next showdown phase, and you know. Right, fighting arts. Obviously I should put in Mighty Strike and Strategist, although, yeah, I suppose the usual deal with a deck of cards, you know, if you draw something you've already got and can't have again, then just, you know, put it back and draw something else. Strategist for Sven. Wonderful. Well, we know what it does, so we do get a great degree of control over the scenery in our monster fights. That's fun. Next up, we have resources. So our 4 survivors make it back to the settlement. We have the monster hide we got, the lion's mane, broken lantern. We also have a mystery thing that could be anything. It could be bone, organ or hide. We have love juice, which can be used to inspire intimacy, which would be great because we could do with another young'un. We have bone, hide, curious hand. The curious hand is disturbing to say the least. A random survival gain 1 insanity. Going on the list we have a d5, rerolling 5s, we have a 9, so 5, 1, 2, 3. Sven will gain +1 insanity. We have the eye of the, not the tiger, the eye of the lion, sinew and bone. So that's a nice mix there, right? I'll just put that down a moment while I grant him his point of insanity, which is not a patch on the 7 points Rambig managed to rack up during that last encounter, but still, you know, it's respectable. So, I may be getting ahead of myself a little bit here, but we could do some fun things with this. Now, both the children have Tinkerer, so Returning Survivor, they grant an additional endeavour. So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 2 is 6 endeavours. I'll use 2 hit location dice for them, just so I don't forget them. Right, settlement events. This is going to be fun, isn't it? These are never bad, right? Nothing bad ever happens. You know, acid raining from the sky, people getting murdered, triathlons of death. Heat wave. Well, it's a new one. I don't know if it's going to be bad yet. It probably is. I mean, they'll... Right. It is impossibly hot. Heavy or fur? No, they're in rawhide. Okay, so if they come back in like thick furs, like antelope armour or like really heavy armour, they'd just be too hot to go out again next year. This heat wave prevents science and education endeavours. Wonderful. If you depart with heavy gear in your grid, set your start to 0. Okay, you don't want to do that. Oh, we have some interesting endeavours here. So, fluid find. So, to look for water. Oh, find fluid. And breathe fumes. It may be worth doing that one. We don't have cooking, so we can't do the superheated beverage thing. Right, so that's the heat wave out of the way for now. However, timeline events. Nobody died. Now the timeline gets to be fun. We have a storyline event and a murder to take care of. I'm going to do the murder first. I'll just find that murder card again. Oh, there it is, very nice near the bottom. Someone has been murdered, the survivor of the highest hunt experience. Which, in this case, would be a tie between Sven and Ormhild. He has the mighty strike, but she has the permanent +1 strength, and she is a child and he's older. And you know what? He is a successful hunter. And I think one of our 2 hunters who stayed home is probably jealous, a murderous jealousy, in fact, and has done him in during the celebrations of the hunt. So alas, poor Sven, you were bold, you were brave. We still get an endeavour for you, so you don't go away just yet. Right. Survivor for the highest is the victim. The survivor for the highest insanity. Oh, okay, so Rambig slew him. That wasn't very nice of her. What a horrible woman. This may come back to haunt her in years to come. Or in fact, upcoming settlement events. Right. We have no society principles, so it's a straight roll on this table. 4. So, people talk about it a lot, but they can't determine who did the deed. This year, departing survivors gain +5 insanity and -2 survival. They're reluctant to accuse her, and they let her go. That is really bad. But we don't have a add this murder again event, so it's just a one-off murder. So the murdering stops. He was really good as well. That's a shame. That was me thinking it was going to be Thorhild or Gunther who did the deed. We're definitely going to try for intimacy. You know what? Thorhild and Sven were the parents of Ormhild and Sigvald. I reckon Randvig is insanely jealous of him for having a lovely woman who bore him children, and she wanted to kill him out of some crazy love jealousy. That actually makes total sense, disturbingly. And I'm probably going to have to resume this momentarily because my camera is likely to be running out of memory card space soon. So, back in a bit. And we're back. Alright. So that settlement event's done out of the way, and Randvig has slain Sven in some jealous love murder. And it's the heat wave, everyone's just too groggy to sort it out, and they just are like, oh, just leave it, you know. Clearly she had her motive or reason to do so. So let's see, do we want to build any new, well, we could go get some more innovations, and innovations are good things, right? That would cost bone, organ, hide. Let's see. We could also, let's see, 3 organs and hide. We have the mystery thing, the love juice, and the sinew, and the cat's eye. So we could definitely build the stone circle. That's screaming antelope stuff, and we can't really face many antelopes at the moment. The weaponcraft would need 3 bone and 1 hide. We'd have the great cat bones, monster bone, the mystery resource. So we could do it. We could build the weaponcrafter and then make no actual weapons. We could make some leather. So, so let's just say, you know, great cat bone, monster bone, mystery object, one hide to build the weaponcrafter. Then we'd have probably nothing to... Oh, wait, what am I doing? We have not done all the story events yet. We have a story event to resolve still. Because this is year 5. Yeah, I completely... Well, I nearly did myself out of something. The reason I did the murder first was this was nominate a survivor, and I didn't want to nominate someone who might get bumped off. I wanted to check the... Yeah. Right. On a lucky day, a clumsy accident knocks a lantern free of the towering lantern horde. A sudden flash of heat fades for survivors as the lantern crashes to the ground. Now shattered, the lantern light dies, but the seed of an idea begins to grow. Oh, someone wants to go play with fire? Yeah. Well, let's see. Randvig and Ormhild are quite strong. Sigvald and Ormhild have the most understanding. Randvig is the murderess. Gunter is apathetic, so it won't be him. Binge-eating Thorhild. Let's go with Sigvald to distinguish him from his sister. So, he will gain a point of courage. And a roll on the table. That wasn't a roll, I dropped it. There we go. This table can result in some bad things, by the way. So let's see. He discovers heat, and the settlement celebrates. The settlement gains the lantern oven innovation. He gains the red fist secret fighting art and rolls on the lantern branding table. Oh, great. So he's going to be marked for life now. 3. Tradition. All departing survivors gain +10 survival. Add Hands of Heat to the timeline D10 years from now. 6 years. So on year 11, we shall have... Oh god, that's going to be a busy year, isn't it? So, lantern oven.
All departing survivors gain. Well, our settlement limit is free, so everyone's just going to be at maximum survival anyway. Lantern oven. It's in here somewhere. So, that was I won't say a completely unexpected, event, because Cadelis has also established a lantern oven development. Oh, you know what? It's probably already in the innovation deck, isn't it? Yes, it is. So we gained the lantern oven innovation. That's great. So 1, 2, 3, 4. If we get the this is going to be interesting. Right. Add lantern oven consequences. Departing survivors gain +1 survival, but yeah. Lantern oven consequences. Oh joy. Now the nice thing is the consequence cards are fairly well organised. He says, working his way through the deck. So scrap smelting and cooking. Scrap smelting is really good because it'll let us melt down broken lanterns and get metal to make things with. These will go into the deck here and get shuffled in. Right, so at this point now, development. We can build things. Right, so I'll just rotate that there. So at this point I could build the weapon crafter, then build no weapons for it, right? Or I could snag an innovation. If I snag an innovation, I'll have more resources, I can make some more armour. And also something else interesting will happen. Because that would be our 5th innovation for the settlement, and innovations are quite good. It's a tough one. Oh. It's tough and yet exciting. You know, and Randvig has lots of insanity, so we are going to spend one of these hit location innovation dice to innovate. So it will require an endeavour, that's done, a bone. I'll go for the generic monster bone, because the great cat bones can make some specific things from the Caterium. Likewise, generic monster hide number 1. And an organ. Let's go with the... Okay, the cat's eye can make a nice headband. The sinew can... Is it bow? Yeah. And the cat bones can make the helmet. Or a spear. No, half a spear. Indeed, other stuff as well. You know what, I'm gonna... Okay, so the sinew, the love juice, the eye of the cat. Let's use the cat's eye, and we'll have a lovely innovation. Now, the symposium
So the innovation is going to draw 2 cards, Symposium, 2 more cards. So choice of 4 cards, right? And we can't have any science or education. Oh, that's not good, is it? If I find fluid and get an 8+, yeah, so I'll spend that to seek fluid in the heat haze. Nothing. Dead Sven's endeavour. May depart with heavy gear normally. I suspect most of these, there's going to be a lot of science and education. So anyway, so that's all failed. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you tell me what she wore? It was not an itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini. Okay, it wasn't cooking because that's science. Inner lantern, maybe. Storytelling is education. Nightmare training is education. It's going to have to be the inner lantern. Which is actually great because it will grant people the surge action, which lets them spend a survival point to get a number like combat-y action, not a movie action. Movie actions, yeah. Slow motion action replays in Kingdom Death. Oh, it's probably already there, isn't it? Probably already happens. The Inner Lantern is nice. They have found faith. George Michael, there's nothing to do with it, okay? We get some Inner Lantern consequences to add to the deck here. They shall be Shrine and Scarification. Don't particularly want Scarification, but the Shrine is really nice. So now people have the courage to fight for the right to survive, not party. Oh, I'm getting all the cheesy tack. With the lantern, the Inner Lantern, and the Lantern Oven, we now have 5 innovations in the settlement. And this will trigger a new story event, and it'll be a fun one. Maybe. I mean, let's hope so, right? So the settlement has a visitor. I may just... This hooded individual here, who isn't painted yet, unfortunately. He bears a sword and the severed head of a monster. And he is interested in the goings-on here and the survival of people. He is a Twilight Knight who exists in the shadowy, murky darkness outside the settlement. And he has come. The settlement has gained his attention. Lost hope may not be lost for much longer. Although why has he come? Let's hope... it could be nasty. It could be nasty. Okay, it's not so nasty. Oh... I really needed to roll higher there, but oh well. What's a 5? So a Hooded Knight insists on training the survivors in martial combat. Up to 2 survivors may spend 3 resources each to learn the Mighty Strike fighting art. So the Hooded Knight trains the survivors. Now, do I want to spend resources? I think at the moment I'd rather just try to survive. The Mighty Strike fighting art was good because Sven had it and it did come in useful a few times. But our resources are kind of important to us at the moment. We've just lost a lot and we aren't going to be... Wait. 1, 2... A mystery? No, we're not going to be building any new locations, so we're going to be building new equipment and we need all the resources we've got. So it was very nice of him. So he does teach them a little bit about running and dodging and not getting killed by monsters. And he will return in 4 years' time. To assess the situation once again. It was entirely possible he could have left his sword behind for someone to train with, and then there would be like the Knight in Cadelis bearing a Twilight Sword, and the Twilight Sword is a really impressive item. It's a weapon that rips through monsters. It's very useful if you have a lot of insanity, and therefore Ranvig was perfectly suited to receive it, but alas, he did not deem her worthy, because she might have just murdered someone. Okay, we know she did, right, but the settlement didn't really want to declare it. I mean, he came in to assess how they were doing as a society, and just say, oh yeah, we just murdered one of our best heroes. It's not really going to go down well, is it? I mean, the guy's got a sword, right, and he's got armour on. You don't want to antagonise the dude. You know what I'm saying? So, we're going to... You know what? Ranvig is pissed off. He didn't give her a nice sword. She's going to use this love juice to force the apathetic Gunther into an intimate situation, because if Sven and Thorhild could have 2 children, then Ranvig believes she deserves to have some children too, right? This is one hideous, messed up, like, soap opera of a settlement, by the way. I mean, yeah. Oh, right. Okay. So, the murderess Ranvig does manage to conceive a child, but she dies in childbirth. And Gunther, the apathetic, normally stoic, emotionless, depressed survivor, actually takes this rather badly, and he gets some insanity points. But there is a child, right? There's a child, and yeah, that was horrific. He gains a random disorder and 3 insanity. He already has apathy. I mean, how could this get much worse? Well, let me go get those disorder cards and find out. Here's me hoping things were going to go well, whereas the population has actually dwindled. So we have our disorder cards here. He's already apathetic, so prey. Okay. You are prey. All there is you may not spend survival unless you are insane. Great. So he cannot use or gain survival, cannot gain courage. Right, so basically he's screwed, by the way. So we've had 2 deaths and 1 new birth. So that leaves us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 settlement population. This is not good, by the way. That's a very, very small population indeed. That's the love juice gone. And since things are getting really desperate, we could attempt intimacy one more time by an augury, which may or may not happen. What else could it give? It could give survival, it could give understanding. Probably not worth it. Right. Okay, so what else have we got here? We have a broken lantern, which was scrap, which can be used to make metal. A curious hand is going to be
hide, organ. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing. Mystery, hide and bone. Oh, and the main, which is a special. We'll put that there. Right. What do we want to make today? Weapons and armour. Yes. Well, we have weapons and we don't have a better weapon crafter. Armour then. Right. I could make the catgut bow. And that could prove very useful, actually. I mean, basically now we're just building some gear and preparing for the next hunt, which will, in all probability, right. Because Ranvig had a lot of insanity, she could have gone for an antelope, but as it is, it's going to have to be another lion, I'm afraid. Disappointing, I know. But it could be much worse. Much, much worse. So, we could innovate to make leather. We could innovate to make 1, 2, 3 pieces of leather. Or less. Okay, we go leather cuirass. We could almost make half a suit of leather here. Leather, bone and hide. We can make a leather shield. That would be really useful. So cool. Tell you what, I'm going to just give this some thought, because the only thing that's going to really happen at the end of this settlement phase now is like me giving out some survival to the next departing survivors, and we're maxing it out from and sending them out. So I'm going to end it here and go away, give a bit of thought of it, and I'll let you guys know what I've decided when I start the next hunt phase. Alright, well I hope you've enjoyed that, and bye bye for now.